So if you aren't aware, there seems to be a bug with Eredin in the current patch 7.4. And I wanted to know if you guys had the same issue, or just to let you know that this issue existed, so you don't try and kill Drago larvas by playing Eredin and putting Frost on the row. How Eredin's supposed to work is that if you Frost on a row and Dominance, you have the highest unit, the Frost damage increases by 1. So it does 3 damage instead of 2. But what seems to happen almost all the time now is the Frost only does 2 damage. So in this case, they play a Drago larva, you play your Eredin, the Frost does 2 damage, takes away the armor, the larva doesn't die, and you feel bad and quit. So here's an example of we have Frost on the rows, we're going to play Eredin. Well, first we're going to set up the Dominance. So we have our old Spirit Tip asleep, we set up our Dominance, and we have highest unit. We'll see what our opponent plays. Looks like it's going to be something smaller than our unit, so it's fine. And now we're going to get our Eredin out of our deck with our Naglfar, and we'll take a look at what happens here. So we play Eredin, we have Frost on the rows, we have Dominance, and the Frost only does 2 damage. So this clip's probably the weirdest one, because this one happened to me on the ladder in ranked mode. So we have Dominance, and look at this. Our Frost bonus damage, we get 3 Frost damage in the range row, but only 2 in the melee row. And this is really confusing to me. And this is what made me investigate this and try to figure out what was going on. Because I had no idea why it would do bonus damage correctly in one row, and not the other row. So after those examples of it not working, check this out. We went to training mode for a lot of these clips, and look what happens here. So they play a 3 strength unit, we play Eredin with our Frost, and the Frost should do 3 damage, and in this case, it does do 3 damage. So sometimes Eredin still works. So if we were trying to figure out what happened here, sometimes we tried to play, well, I tried playing Eredin in different rows to see if we, say, played him in the range row, if the Frost applied differently, or if it was the Frost that was put down by Eredin versus a Frost already on the field. And I couldn't really figure out what's going on. It looks like, in the end, that just sometimes the Frost works, and sometimes it doesn't. So in this case, one Frost was applied by Eredin, one was applied by Red Riders. And look, in this case, they both do 2 damage. So that didn't seem to fix the problem. In this case, we try something else. So we're going to play a unit just so we can get something going and see what they do. They're going to play a unit, and we're going to play Eredin and Frost. We're going to play Eredin in the range row this time, and they're going to have a unit in the melee row. We'll see if Eredin has to be across from the row that does damage, which doesn't make sense based on the earlier clips, but we're just trying out different things to see if we could figure out what was going on. So in this case, Eredin applies to Frost, we boost ourselves with Dominance, and once again, the Frost will only do 2 damage. So in this case, we're going to try using Eredin again. This time we set up some Frost with our Naglfar crew member, and now we're going to get our Eredin. They're going to have something in both rows, so we can see how the Frost works here. We're going to lose our guy, that doesn't matter, we're just recording the clip. We're going to play Eredin, we'll Frost in both rows, we'll have Dominance from our old Spirit Tip asleep, put Eredin in the ranged row, and we'll see what happens with the damage. And once again, looks like our Frost is just going to do 2 damage to both things. So guys, I don't really know what's going on with Eredin, I just know that sometimes the Frost doesn't work correctly, the bonus damage on the Frost that is, and if you see an Drago larva, if your opponent's first play, you have an Eredin in your hand, just know it might not do 3 damage, and the larvas might live. So I'd probably not play Eredin right now, but hopefully they'll fix it eventually. I'm sure they'll fix it eventually. Hopefully they fix it pretty quickly, because I've submitted a bug report. I've seen a couple other bug reports about this, but they're not in English, so I'm not sure if everyone knows about this yet. But if you're playing Eredin, just know it won't always do 3 damage, and hopefully it gets fixed pretty quickly. And also shout out to this guy, Lorenzo Mastriani. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but I love the artwork on this card. Great job.